Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fadi Gwanny on Live Talks Live. Welcome to the 7-Minute Breakthrough Revolution. And this week we are talking about something that is very, very deep, very quiet, very subtle, that goes on in our minds. However, it governs everything we do. It governs all our actions. It governs all our decisions. It's called limiting beliefs. And when we talk about beliefs, these are embedded commands in your own mind, things that you have gathered over time and decided this is how your life is going to be. So stick around with me for the next 7 minutes as we talk about what are the roots of those limiting beliefs. Where do they come from? You see, once you reveal where they come from, once you reveal the source, they almost disappear. It's like you're taking a shadow and you're shining some light on it. Boom, gone. You don't have to put much effort. You just have to understand the source. Does it come from an experience? Does it come from knowledge? What does it come from? Once we understand that, we're ready to take off. We're ready to sit down with ourselves and actually make serious changes almost immediately. Take on life from a different level, different frequency. Stick around with me. 7 minutes. So when we talk about limiting beliefs, where do they come from? What's the source of them? How can we find where it actually lies? Right? I was sitting with this other person, and very, very interesting person. And I was just talking about how I would like to write a book sometime. And he's like, no, Fadi, you do a lot of things. I mean, good that you're successful at what you do, but writing a book, no, I've seen writers. I've seen how they rise. First of all, these people don't stop writing all day, all the time. Since they were babies, since they were kids, they're always writing, and he knows. He knows. And he spoke so much about writers. I was like, is this something you wanted to do? Moment of silence. He's like, yes, but I can't. I was like, because you know things, don't you? He's like, yes. I was like, where do you get this knowledge from? He's like, I've seen. I was like, how many people have you seen? How many established writers have you witnessed grow from scratch to writers? And as I asked the simplest questions, he started digging deep. Where did he gain his knowledge from? One person. One person who isn't even a big established writer. He saw them rise. He was a close friend. And from there he decided that's how writers are. If he hasn't written all his life, chances are he's not going to write a proper book. So you see, limiting beliefs, number one, first of all, are disguised as I knows. That's how you pick on them. You see somebody saying, I know. That's it. Where do you know this from? You see, nothing in life can you possibly know at all. At all. If you haven't learned it from somebody else, so you're living somebody else's thoughts. Not only somebody else's thoughts, somebody else's knowledge mixed with their perception, which is actually based on previous knowledges of somebody else, and boom, you get that knowledge from someone, you base your life on it, and it's total BS. It's just holding you back. So we need to understand something. We need to understand something very deep. Where do we get this I knows from? I know I can't travel because I can't afford it. Have you researched cheap travel? Or you know what people pay in traveling? What limits do you have in your life, from small things to big things? Where do you get those I knows from? You need to question every single belief you have. Where did I get this from? It's hilarious. I'm a wedding photographer. So I sit in a meeting and somebody says, you know what, we're going to have to do that cake part where we get a big cake and cut it. I don't want to do it, but I have to. So I ask him, why'd you have to do it? He's like, because that's how it's done. What do you mean that's how it's done? Where did you get this knowledge from? A few weddings you've attended. Do you understand where the culture came from? It was always a big loaf of bread. The groom breaks down and they all share as one family. Over time, it became cake because more interesting food came out. And now it's just a couple of cartons, a couple of styrofoams, well decorated, with a few fireworks behind it. They're cutting nothing, and they're feeding each other something off a different cake. And nobody ever touches it. The concept of cake or sharing one pie, cake, bread, whatever it is gone. But people do it because that's how it's done. That's how they learned it. They don't question it anymore. You know, another beautiful story, again, sitting with a group of people, one big fat turkey. However, the legs are cut off. I love this story, right? So very simply, we asked the lady, why is the feet cut off? Why is those bones? They're fun, you know? You grab them, you have a little cartoon character going on. And the person's like, that's how it's done. Well, can you question that? What do you mean that's how it's done? Because we've seen it done otherwise. No, that's how it's done. So she goes back, she starts asking questions. Her aunts, her grandma, where did this come from? And here comes a very old lady saying, well, long ago, we had this very small pan. So we had to cut the legs of the turkey to fit the turkey in. For right now, we're taking all those cultural thoughts, cultural ideas, all these things that were just passed on. You can't travel. You can't do this. You can't do that. That's part of your system. That's not part of your system. That's not how you're brought up. That's not how you're thinking. That's not how anything. And all these become beliefs. Beliefs. Now imagine 10 people running a race. 5 believe they can make it first place. The other 5 are just grateful they got there and believe they will never win first place. I just want you to imagine the takeoff, the power, the momentum, the explosion of the 5 who believe they can. How hard will they work on it? You see, just having a limiting belief is just not a mere thought. It inhibits your motion. It inhibits your actions. It inhibits your decisions. You don't make the right decisions in the right place anywhere. You just believe. If you believe you're sitting down and you can't get up, you can't get up, right? You just believe it. If you believe you can't move forward in your life, you can't get this job, you can't get this career, you're stuck. Your mind is capable of just paralyzing you because you believe in something. You believe in someone's thoughts. They couldn't do it. They believed they couldn't do it. They sold you the idea. Now you can't do it. It's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is go back to the roots. Check all your I knows. Where do they come from? Who taught you that? You see, all the information you have was taught. Everything was taught. So technically speaking, find out what those I knows are. Where they came from. And why are you believing in those thoughts? Especially the ones that are not serving you. Especially the ones that are dream breakers. Especially the ones that are breaking your life down to pieces. Find those thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Find your I knows. Question them. Nothing is 100% accurate. No one person can guide you through life 100% accurately. They must be holding back in their lives, and that's what they're doing for you. So check those thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Understand them. And once you understand their source, it was just a smaller pot. You'll find it too ridiculous to even put an effort to battle it. You'll allow it to pass. Okay, now I know where it's ridiculous. Now I know where I need to move on with my life. It's a moment of realization. So please, write down in the commentary the top, most strongest limiting belief you've got. And how do you intend to rid yourself of it? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please message us, ask us any questions, send us anything on our website, www.lifetalkslive.com, or message us here on the fan page, and we gladly support you, gladly help you, gladly give you clarity. Have a great time, and very shortly we're going to go for the Arabic version. Have a great evening.